Why you, as a business owner and parent, need to be doing less to be getting more done. Hey, everyone, it's Thomas back with Shift Your Saturdays. And this week, we're going to be talking about goal setting and pacing your work so you can actually get results. Now, why is this important? Oftentimes, when I'm working with business owners and parents, they have good intentions, they have high goals. They're saying, oh, I want to do this year, or I want to do that this year. But the problem is that their goals aren't built around our lifestyles as parent. It's chaotic, it's messy, things happen. And so what we need to be is realistic about how we're organizing and sequencing our work to actually get results done. So in this video, we're going to be talking about a framework that can help most parents get things done while also being real about what our lives are facing. Now, for those of you watching, let me guess maybe what last year looked like for you. You set a big goal at the beginning of the year. You were pumped. You're like, I've got this. I can do this. You had a plan. And by March, February, maybe middle of January, life happened in the golden, right? Kids got sick, work got crazy. Life happens. You got exhausted. Doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Annual goals that we set assume you have the capacity and ability to stick with it the entire year. That requires stability. And honestly, what's the one thing that we as parents, as business owners don't have? Stability, right? We don't have that luxury. So what we have to focus on is being real about how we're breaking up our time to make those goals happen. So that's why today we're going to be talking about 90-day sprints and how they're short enough to help keep you focused, to help get you accomplishing tasks that add up to the larger goal, but aren't going to provide for burnout, that aren't going to provide for discouragement when life inevitably happens. Life with kids does not respect annual plans, right? It just doesn't happen. So we have to be realistic about what we're going to be doing, and creating work chunks or 90-day sprints is one of the easiest keys for success that we can, as business owners and parents, empower ourselves to do. We understand life, right? Life is chaotic. It does not always adhere to our plans. And so that's why the shorter we can make our sprints, or if we can chunk this up, it's going to be, again, easier for us to get results and also build some momentum. So, we're going to talk a little bit about what some of those milestones may be in a further example. But again, focus on not trying to do everything all at once, right? Can we pick 1 to 3 objectives that are setting the pace and setting the tone for us to ultimately get to our goals, but are not actually requiring a momentous effort from us to make that happen, right? Because we need to understand that our distance from our goals affects our reality. If we feel like the goal is really far off, we're less likely to continue working towards it. Whereas if we can keep taking positive progress forward, it gets closer and closer, and it has a higher likelihood of succeeding. So for the first milestone that everyone needs to be working towards is automated marketing, right? Because if your marketing stops, you don't have a business, right? You at best have a job. So what you need to focus on is in that ultimate goal of your financial rewards, hitting your lifestyle design. We need to focus on the very first piece of that within the first 90 days, which is creating an automated lead gen system. Now, this is incredibly important because, one, not only does it make your daily task of finding 1 to 3 to however many people you need to be talking to come your way, but it's doing it without constant presence. When you have that set up, whether you're going to the grocery store or the gym or just sleeping, whatever it may be, you have this machine that is now working on your behalf and building your business on a regular schedule. And that's huge. But it requires a lot of different steps. You're talking about all the advertising, the collateral for the actual platforms themselves, videos, copy, maybe even lead magnets or something. But there's also the follow-up piece. Once they sign up for that lead magnet, what's happening to them? There's little emails that need to be sent out. There's AI agents that probably need to be configured. There are a bunch of action items and tasks that can be chunked up and make it more digestible or easier to work in an effort, again, to create that automated marketing system you need so that you can then be successful. Having automated marketing is the difference between a side hustle and a business. And once you have that into place, you have crossed a major milestone for what you are looking to do. In the first 90 days, that is a reasonable expectation for you to put into place. So that's the first side, right? We want to make sure we're doing this the right way. But the second piece of this now becomes, what are you doing to manage your business? And again, we have to make this easy because again, we want to focus on simplicity and quick sprints. This is where the concept of the Brown M&M report is so incredibly important and powerful for business owners. Now, for those of you who don't know what it is, the Brown M&M report came from Van Halen back in the 1980s. Long story short, they were Taylor Swift before Taylor Swift was doing her thing. They were going to venues and concerts. They'd show up with like 15, 20 semis, big production, and there needed to be precise attention to detail, which during the start of the tour wasn't always happening, and in some instances resulted in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damage. What Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth figured out was they needed a way to quickly identify if, when they showed up to a venue, that it was ready to go, that it was set up to the way they needed their cash machine to work without having to actually get down and look at all the plugins and electrical outlets and the sets and everything, right? They needed something simple. So they came up with the Brown M&M report. So buried in the technical writer, which is the document you give to a venue or concert hall, whatever, to explain, how the show needs to be set up, there's a very simple provision that said before the band got to the green room, they needed a bowl of M&Ms with all of the brown ones removed to be available. And the reason they did this wasn't because they didn't like brown M&Ms. It was because they needed a simple yet effective reporting mechanism that will allow them to easily identify if attention had been paid to the details necessary. The reason I love this story and the reason I bring it up so often for business owners is that you need something simple as well too. With everything you've got going on, being a parent, being a business owner, you don't have time to get lost in data, to get lost in reports. So the sooner that you can create Brown M&M reports to effectively manage the health and vitality of your business, the better off you're going to be. Why is this? Well, at the end of the day, we've all been parents. We all know it. When you're running on 4 hours of sleep, clarity beats willpower. With simple reporting and automated systems, it's a lot easier for us to execute when we don't have to think. If we just have to pick up the phone call, look at the reporting, understand if it's working or not, much easier for us to be a successful business owner in that regard. So that being said, I highly encourage everyone out there, if you have not yet done so, start working on that 90-day sprint of getting both your first automated marketing campaign in place, and second, more importantly, your Brown M&M report in place as well too. I hope you liked the video. If you learned something or if it was enlightening, please like it, share it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We put out new content every Saturday morning to help you, the weekend warriors, get started with your Saturday morning shift. And more importantly, if you want to learn more, we have additional resources and trainings at our website, shiftyoursaturdays.com. We'd love to see you over there, and we'd love to have you on our journey as we help you, the business owner and parent, reach your financial goals. Thanks. We'll see you next week.